What's up, Nail Geeks, and welcome back to another Bee's Knees Lacquer video. I am grinning like an idiot because we get a Baldur's Gate Part 2 collection. If you checked out my video from, I believe I posted it in November, it was a Baldur's Gate Part 1 collection, and we dreamed up a scenario where Trisha was a YouTuber, a gamer YouTuber, and that didn't go so well because my lighting and everything, hell, my lighting isn't really like, it's not even near being nice as it is. When the sun goes down, I am screwed. But my lighting is really not like my equipment, everything is not set up for gaming. It's also not set up for, unfortunately, for makeup. I would love to do makeup reviews, but like, that's a whole other beast. But anyways, I digress. We are getting a Baldur's Gate Part 2 collection. And when I saw the PR email, I was like, oh, like all these just, I don't know. It was great. I had angels singing in my head. We have Part 2 is based off of more, or we have some characters that weren't featured in the original. And then I think there's one or two overlaps too. So I'm going to just really quick in lieu of showing you all my gameplay, which I know a lot of you aren't gamers, which is totally okay. I don't want to bore you with that. But just real quick, so you all can see what the inspirations are, because this is another one that is like, oh, it's so good with their inspirations. We've got Bear Cub. This is a little cub that you can kind of rescue. I don't really want to call it rescue. It's just an unfortunate situation, but you can kind of adopt this little Bear Cub. Yes, Bear Cub. We're going to see that inspiration. We're going to see Nightsong. I don't know if I want to talk about the inspiration for this one, because if you haven't played it yet, I mean, it's been out for a minute, but like I didn't play it for the whole, like, I think it was like a year it had been out and I hadn't played it. So I don't really want to like spoil that one, but just know Nightsong is this ethereal, heavenly sort of thing. You'll see it. It's a beautiful polish too. We've got Minthara, and it's so great. She's such a little Spitfire type thing. So you can see that inspiration up here. Let's see. We've also got, we've got Jahira. She was previously in another Baldur's Gate, so she's kind of into this new hero for your character, I should say, for Part 3. You can see her. She's an awesome freaking druid. We've got Minsk, who is like, I guess you could say her friend, sort of, kind of, but they're like, yeah, they're like BFFs. You could say that. Minsk is friends with Jahira, and you will meet him later on in the game, but he's up here, and he's got a little friend that he he travels with, and the little friend stays in his pocket. It's a little hamster, so cute, and the hamster's name is Boo. So you'll see Boo right up here, and we've got Shadowheart, which we did see Shadowheart in the last collection, but if you play the game, or if you do play the game, there are, I don't want to spoil anything. She needed 2 of them. I will just say that. And then we've got another one. This is Alfira. I didn't interact with this person a whole lot in my playthrough, unfortunately. At least my most recent one. So I'm going to go back. I just feel like this is such a big giant game that it is made to be played multiple times, because I see things on like on gaming groups and stuff, and they're like, oh, I did this and this in this game, and it's like they really did think of everything. It's just big giant choose your own adventure. It's amazing. So Alfira, you can see her picture up here. We have another Astarion, which my personal favorite character. He was my video game boyfriend in the game. Come on, he's a hot vampire. But I don't want to spoil it again, but if you do plan on playing, or if you have already played, you know why he also needs to have a second polish. Gale, same thing. These characters needed their two-sided coins, for lack of better words. But Gale is up here. You can see that. Chosen of Bane. This one's inspired by one of the baddies. This is Gortash. Picture up here. He is very ambitious. I will just say that. A Father's Love. This is inspired by another one of the bad guys, Ketherick. Picture up here, so you can kind of get the inspiration for that. And then we've also got Orphan is another one of the baddies, the baddies, the 3 of them. And her picture's up here. I hated that character so much. I was so glad when I got to have my character go in and just kick some major ass. So that is that inspiration. So without further ado, let's check out Baldur's Gate Part 2. We're going to kick this watch party off with Bear Cub. This is described as a chocolate brown with bronze magnetic shimmer. I have to really compliment the magnetics in this collection. They are those creamy type of bases, and when you magnetize them, it's such a stark type of appearance when you see the magnetic effect, and you'll see that here in just a moment. Bear Cub has a super smooth, rich formula to it. I would classify it as being a more standard type of polished formula, not really leaning either way. And it looks cool unmagnetized and magnetized, but again, it's got that lush, chocolatey looking appearance when you magnetize it. I'm going to suggest 2 coats and a glossy top coat. Nightsong is a cool-toned lemon sibling, which is one of my favorite BKLs. It was released quite some time ago. This has the same golden shimmer and silver light reflective glitter in a pale gray base. I do agree with that official description. This base color is going to play up against your skin tone. Against myself, I felt like it had an almost light-colored taupe lean on my medium skin. So it's really going to play up against your respective tone. I'm going to suggest 3 super light coats to build this one up. It has a curly formula to it, and it builds almost like a milky type of appearance. So to prevent any type of potential patchiness or anything like that, let the paddle brush do the work for you and slowly build it up. You will need a glitter smoother with this. Loving Another is not soft. This is a soft lilac metallic. This is so pretty and is what I would flat out say is a straight up chrome type of finish. I think 3 light coats is going to work the best for this. Interestingly enough, even though to my eyes and the way it applied, I would say it's a true chrome, it really didn't have any streaking issues with it. So honestly, if you tend to overwork your polishes with the paddle brush, you're going to be just fine. This builds up to an almost, I want to say it's like a pearly type of look also. It's like a pearl and a chrome had a love baby because we've got this nice purpley type of cast to it too. It's just very pretty. Twine Your Life Around People You Love is a grass green with glowy pink to gold shimmer and subtle scattered of hollow. I am so glad I did not read descriptions when I'm being sarcastic, of course, when I go in and swatch, because when I was swatching this, I was like, oh my gosh, the shimmer, it like has this holographic effect to it, but it's not so in your face that it makes this linear rainbow looking effect. It plays up really well with the shimmer. I'm thinking my full hand shot, you might get an idea of that. This is just one of those types of finishes that mix between the hollow and the shimmer. You gotta see in person. This is on the somewhat light side for formula, so you might see a visible nail line if you have a really prominent free edge. I think 3 coats and a glossy top coat is perfect. I Will Not Orphan My Hamster is a rich brown base with glowy purple shimmer that shifts to a deep pink, making the polish almost look like wine. I would say this is a true sheer polish. You're going to see through your nails, and these types of polishes, in my opinion, will layer up really well against other colors. So you'll see in the Willet Topper segment, it looks great over black too, but I think you could really play with this one on neutral bases. So if that bugs you and you don't want to use, say, a cream per se, you could absolutely use a blurring base to kind of help it out in terms of opacity. 3 coats by itself and a glossy top coat will give you that most shimmer payoff. He's in Charge is a copper base that shifts to gold. This one is one of those polishes I swore up and down was going to be magnetic. P.S. It is not. And it's got a really rich, super smooth, creamy formula with it. Very opaque. I thought 2 coats was excellent opacity. I don't think anyone really needs to go up to a 3rd coat. And the shimmer is very viscous in this one. I don't mean that in a bad way. It is very smooth in terms of formula, but it will leave you with some streaks if you tend to overwork the polish. So let that paddle brush do the work for you. Dark Justiciar is a black and purple with cobalt microflake shimmer. This is really nice. And I typically, I don't know, my favorite polishes are always really bright colors, but I have to say that the deep and vampy colors to this collection are so well done. And it might be because I know the inspirations, but I don't know. I'm just so freaking smitten that we get a part 2. I'm so excited. Part 1 is safely tucked in my Helmer, which it's going to be in my collector's pieces. This one, I would suggest 2 coats and a glossy top coat. It is wonderful on opacity. It applies like a jelly, but it is so rich and easy to build up. 2 coats, and you'll want to use a good glossy top coat because it dries on really flat. Dance Upon the Stars is a jewel toned purple with cobalt and red to green microflakes. It does state in our PR information here that the red microflakes turn a lovely fuchsia in the purple base. That is really interesting to me because I'm not typically a flaky person, but I do love tinier flakes like this when there's a ton of them. So you almost get this like strong, like a confetti popper just exploded on your nails. I really like it. And this one built up really well at 3 coats for me. I'm going to suggest 3 thin coats. If you're rocking shorties or nubbins, you might be able to get away with 2 coats, but maybe go in a touch heavy-handed if you choose to do 2. So your preference on that. Now it did dry down flat, not textured though, so just use a good glossy top coat. Ascended is a blackened garnet with red microflake shimmer. This is so well done for my video game boyfriend. I love it to pieces. It's another super vampy, like I would say a vampy cousin to Dance Upon the Stars and probably Dark Justiciar too. So it is just magnificent. For a jelly, it is very opaque and smooth on application. The flakes give you no trouble, nothing to report there. This was one of the ones that my husband walked behind me when I was swatching and I was like, look at this. It's very pretty and those red flakes are chef's kiss. 2 coats and a glossy top coat. Ambition is a midnight blue with ultra glowy cobalt microflake shimmer. I love this one too. And oh my goodness, these little microflakes are so magical. They give you an almost glistening, almost like a foil effect, but they are large enough that you can see, as you're seeing here on the video, that they're flakes. Just, I don't know. It's wonderful. And this is, it's blue too. So I don't know. Anyways, if you can't tell, I'm just so geeked over this set. I'm going to suggest 3 light coats for Ambition as well. This one also has that somewhat harsher type of dry down. It's thirsty, but again, not necessarily textured. You'll just need to make sure you smooth them out. If your top coat is super thin and more of a watery type, you might be able to use a thin layer of glitter smoother if need be to help it out. Chosen of Bane is a blackened turquoise base with fine holographic magnetic shimmer. Unmagnetized, the hollow gives the entire polish a subtle holographic flame. I agree with that. These last 3 are all magnetics and they're magical. Very much like that first one, Bear Cub, they have that creamy smooth formula that has an excellent self-leveling effect to it. You can wear these unmagnetized and you'll get this almost chrome but straight holographic look. It's really, really pretty and just so ridiculously well done. This is like, I don't know, it's just beautiful on that base color. 2 coats and a glossy top coat was how I wore it. And A Father's Love is a blackened blue with fine holographic magnetic shimmer. And the same thing applies here in our PR notes that if you wear it unmagnetized, you'll see that subtle type of holographic flame effect. Very, very nice. And A Father's Love had the tiniest bit more of a jelly lean than say Bear Cub and Chosen of Bane, but I chose to take it up to 3 light coats. I think some of you rocking shorties, you might be able to do 2 normal coats. So again, it just depends on how you apply. It almost looks like a velvet magnetic effect when you leave it unmagnetized. I don't know. It was just very, very ridiculously pretty. I want to note that the unmagnetized hand shots that you're seeing for these are without top coat. So you can see how glossy they are on their own in their respective dry downs. Give Me My Agony is a sibling to the Blade of Frontier, and it has the same fine silver magnetic shimmer and a base that looks pink when unmagnetized, and like Old Blood when magnetized. I totally agree with that. Just the inspirations are just perfect. So Give Me Agony, I chose to do this one at 2 coats and then a glossy top coat after I magnetized it. And P.S. if you use the magic magnetic top coat, like what I do to magnetize polishes, all the magnetics in this set played very well with that. So super user-friendly, no issues to report on the pigments moving. They were quick to snap to the magnet. And we're going to wrap this up with the Willet Topper segment. This is where I use a black swatch stick to demonstrate if polishes have layering capabilities. All right, so we have lighter types of formulas overall, even though we have some really wonderful opaque type of bases going on, I think most of these are pretty versatile, especially these super strong shimmers. Now, Loving Another is not soft, even though that's chrome-like. If I went in just a touch heavy-handed, I could probably get away with using it as a topper and avoid any potential streaking. But I tend to go in lighter on my coats when I'm doing the wallet topper segment. That way, to me, if something is going to be a true topper, I don't think you should have to go in super ham over an undie, if that makes sense. I don't know, just my little eccentricities to how I do things. But anyways, all of that to say, a lot of these really pass the test and they look great. And these little microflakes, I'm so in love with them. I do hope we see more of them. I also hope we see more of this holographic looking magnetic thing going on, especially on these last three. They're so pretty. And it's almost like that creamy smooth look. I don't know. Creams are some of my favorite finishes. And I know that's so basic, but there's something about a bold looking nail. And these magnetics definitely give that, especially for being special effects. In addition to this launch too, BKL has some really fun cuticle oil pens that you can grab. I did not open this up so it could be fresh for the video. And I have so much trash over here for this one. This one is called Rind and Shine. This is the pen is 2.7 milliliters. You can also grab the bottle for 12 milliliters too on the site. But it is a click style pen, so you can kind of hear that. And if you watched my BCB video, you saw that I just got totally doused with it. So with another pen, so I'm very cautious. I'm just clicking it. I feel like I'm playing a game here where it's just it's kind of like pie face kind of thing. Okay, here we go. Oh, that's very nice. Let me put it on my other thumb over here. Okay, so we have a nice lighter type of oil going on here with this one too. It feels very jojoba-like. Oh, it's argan oil is the first one. Shea oil, vitamin E. That's very soft. Yeah, so it soaked in super quick into my skin here. Very light type of moisturizing. These are ones I will always say are very good after you wash your hands, things like that. It definitely has a citrus smell to it. Just fresh, a very fresh, kitchen-y type of citrus to it. And I would say too that the scent is very, very light. Like I have to really get my thumb around my nose to get a good smell of it. So if you're super sensitive to smells, maybe this one, it might be up your alley. If you wanted something subtly type of scented. So this will also be included in the launch too, amongst other scents as well. This pre-order also includes overpours from the craft and the craft freebies as they are available. There will also be a handful of mystery overpours from HHC, PPU, and Fandom Flakies, and those unreleased prototypes that got bumped back from the Buzzmas release from around Black Friday time from last year. Those are going to be available. There is a variety of finishes and it's limited to 3 per person. I will have all this information broken down in the description box below, including timestamps if you need to go back for anything. And I will also link you to Bees Knees Lacquer's website if you want to get in there and check that out. I believe by the time I get this video up, the preview should be up. And I will also link you to BKL's Instagram page if you want to join that and follow them. The website, to be completely honest, has a newsletter. That's the best place to subscribe, and you can follow that. Any flash sales or any information like that will be included in newsletter stuff. So super handy information on that. And as always, if you enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe. Thank you so much for watching.